Welcome to our deep dive into Uruguay's nude beaches, naturism, freedom, and cruising at Chihuahua podcast.
Hello.
You shared a really fascinating collection of sources with us today.
Yeah, quite a mix. Articles, social media bits, descriptions.
And our mission really is to unpack what makes this spot, Chihuahua Beach in Uruguay, such a compelling place. We're talking naturism, LGBTQ plus acceptance, freedom.
A unique sense of liberation, it seems. We've got stuff on Uruguay's gay-friendly laws, the beach guide itself, nude beach etiquette, even a bit on cruising.
Exactly. So let's dive in and try to understand the whole picture, what makes Chihuahua tick, and what's the broader context in Uruguay.
Sounds good. Where should we start? The legal side.
Yeah, let's start there. Uruguay's reputation as gay-friendly. It's pretty striking. Homosexuality decriminalized way back in 1934. That's really early.
It is incredibly early, especially for the region, maybe even globally in some respects. It suggests, well, a different starting point, maybe left legal baggage around the issue.
Right. So that foundation was laid a long time ago. And then you see this progression, anti-discrimination laws in 2003.
Then adoption for gay couples in 2009.
And marriage equality pretty soon after, early 2013. It wasn't just one big leap, it was step by step.
Exactly. A consistent movement towards equality. And it's not just passive either. You mentioned the government support.
Yeah, like for the LGBT Chamber of Commerce's travel conference, that feels significant, having official backing.
Oh, absolutely. It sends a message, right?
Yeah.
That this isn't just tolerated, it's actually supported, encouraged. That helps foster a welcoming environment, not just for citizens, but for visitors too.
And that Homo monument in Montevideo, the pink triangle, to honor diversity is to honor life. Putting that right in the capital.
That speaks volumes, doesn't it? It's a very visible, very symbolic commitment. It says diversity is a core value worth celebrating publicly.
Okay, so that's the national backdrop. Very progressive, very accepting. Now, let's zoom in on Chihuahua Beach, a few miles from Punta del Este.
Uruguay's first officially recognized naturist beach. That's a key point. And apparently ranked highly, like top 20 globally by one magazine.
Nude and natural, yeah. So it's got credentials in the naturist world. What do you think makes this specific spot work so well for naturism and this open vibe? Is it the location?
It could be partly the setting. The sources mention beautiful wild scenery lagoons, the sea, dunes. That kind of natural beauty can definitely contribute to a feeling of escape, of being removed from everyday constraints.
It's a place to feel free.
Precisely. And being the first official one probably gave it a certain legitimacy, allowed a community to form around it early on.
It's described as European and cosmopolitan, attracting Swedes, Germans, Brazilians. A real international mix. How does that play into the atmosphere?
Well, when you bring people together from places where maybe naturism is more established or just viewed differently, it likely broadens the sense of what's normal or acceptable there.
Less likely to be just one narrow view.
Exactly. It probably helps create that truly open, less judgmental feel that the sources talk about. A mix of perspectives usually leads to more tolerance.
And the key thing seems to be that nudity is optional. It's not forced.
Right, which is crucial, I think. It allows people to participate at their own comfort level. If you want to be nude, great. If not, that's fine too. That probably reduces any feeling of pressure.
And yet the vibe is described as friendly and uninhibited. How do they strike that balance? No one stares at you, but everyone is friendly.
It sounds like a strong, maybe unspoken social contract. Respect personal space, don't be creepy, but also be open and approachable. It's about focusing on relaxation and community, not just bodies.
And the diversity of the crowd is amazing. Singles, couples, families with kids, pets, young, old, gay, straight, swingers mentioned, executives, even celebrities.
Yeah, that list is pretty incredible. Maria Casan, Susana Gimenez, Julieta Venegas. It suggests the appeal is really broad.
What does that tell you? Why would such different people all flock there?
Maybe it's less about just being a nude beach or just being a gay-friendly beach, and more about being a place that embodies a certain kind of freedom. Freedom from judgment, freedom to relax, freedom to just be.
A desire for authenticity, perhaps?
Could be a place where you don't have to perform quite so much. And the presence of celebs, maybe that reinforces the idea that it's a place where even well-known people can unwind without scrutiny.
And there's a social hub, too, the Parador Chicho Chihuahua. Food, drinks, sunsets, music, even themed parties that must help build community.
Oh, definitely. Having a central spot like that is vital. It's where people connect, mingle, share experiences. The parties sound like fun too. Costume parties at sunset. adds a playful element.
Even the entrance sets the tone, right? A sign offering tantric massages, diversity flags flying.
Yeah, it's like they're signaling right away. This is a different kind of place. Openness and acceptance start here. Very clear visual cues.
And just 400 meters away, you've got the Undarius Gay Hotel.
Right. Clothing optional, exclusively for men, run by gay staff and owners.
How significant is having that kind of dedicated space so close?
It really cements Chihuahua's status as a prime spot for gay travelers seeking that specific kind of liberated beach experience. It provides a dedicated, comfortable base camp that shares the same ethos as the beach.
Like an extension of the beach's atmosphere, but with a pool and a cozy and extremely romantic fireplace.
Exactly. It complements the beach perfectly, offering amenities and a focused community space. Beautiful garden, pool views from balconies. Sounds quite appealing.
For anyone listening who might be thinking about visiting a place like Chihuahua or any nude beach, maybe we should quickly touch on etiquette.
Good idea. The core principle is just respect, don't stare. That's probably number one.
Right, and privacy, no photos without explicit permission. That's huge.
Absolutely critical. Basic courtesy, really. Be mindful of others' comfort zones and, practically speaking, sunscreen everywhere, especially places that don't usually see the sun.
Good point. And just generally, follow any specific beach rules, relax, be respectful. It's about shared enjoyment, not making others uncomfortable.
Precisely. Focus on the freedom, the nature, the company.
Now, this interest in naturism, FKK, Freikorperkultur, it's not just Uruguay, is it? The sources mention it growing elsewhere in Latin America and the Caribbean.
Yeah, places like Brazil, Peru, Mexico are seeing more interest. It seems to be a broader trend, maybe tied to globalization, changing attitudes towards the body, a desire for connection with nature.
Could be a mix of things. But visitors always need to respect local customs wherever they are.
Always.
Yeah.
What's acceptable on one beach might not be elsewhere. There are apparently over 30 official nude beaches and many more tolerated ones in the region now, plus resorts.
So it's definitely a growing scene. We also saw a mention of another Uruguayan naturist beach, La Sirena. Sounds different from Chihuahua.
Yeah, La Sirena up in Rocha near Aguas Dulces. It sounds much quieter, more focused purely on nature.
No lifeguard, no food services.
Right. It emphasizes tranquility, getting away from it all. Wide beaches, dunes, pines. The focus is on peaceful enjoyment and respecting privacy in a more secluded setting.
Still the same core values of respect, though. No bothersome staring, no photos without consent. Help keep it clean.
They define naturism broadly as enjoying nature, with FKK as part of that, fostering respect and breaking down prejudices.
Yeah.
It shows there's diversity, even within Uruguay's naturist options.
Interesting. So Chihuahua is more social, La Serena more tranquil. Before we wrap up the beach details, let's quickly touch on Punta del Este again. It's got this glamorous image. St. Tropez of South America.
Right. Ibiza of Latin America, Pearl of the Atlantic, attracts wealth, status symbols.
But potentially more conservative. Public displays of affection might get stares outside of gay-specific zones like Chihuahua.
That's what one source suggested, especially in high season, with more families around. It highlights Chihuahua's role as the designated space for that kind of freedom, the gay beach where there are no limits, as one source put it.
So Punta del Este has the glitz, but Chihuahua has this specific kind of liberation. It's not a huge party town overall, but there's some nightlife.
Seems like it. A gay-friendly club, El Torian, was mentioned. And a big annual party, Canal, apparently draws a big gay crowd and celebs, plus private villa parties.
Okay, now let's address the cruising aspect mentioned in the title and sources. We saw some social media references like in Almeria, Spain.
Right, and a Reddit comment calling Chihuahua pretty gay, very relaxed people in their own movie. Another hinted at a less inhibited vibe compared to regular beaches.
So the sources mention the term and hint at a very relaxed, open atmosphere at Chihuahua, particularly among the LGBTQ plus crowd. How should we understand cruising in this context carefully?
Well, without specific reports from Chihuahua detailing that activity, we have to be cautious. But you take the clothing optional nature, the strong LGBTQ plus presence, the emphasis on freedom and lack of inhibition.
Okay.
It suggests an environment where social interactions might be more open, more fluid, perhaps less bound by conventional norms than on a typical beach.
So it might contribute to that overall feeling of liberation, that people feel free to connect or seek connection in different ways.
Plausibly, yes. The definitions we saw, one about intimate outdoor encounters, another about swingers exploring exchanges with respect, suggest a spectrum of openness. In a place like Chihuahua, That described freedom could encompass a wider range of social possibilities, contributing to the uninhibited atmosphere people describe. It's part of that no-limits feeling, perhaps.
But the key is still that underlying culture of respect we talked about earlier, hopefully guiding those interactions.
Absolutely. The etiquette points about not staring, respecting space, they become even more important in an environment that allows for more open interaction.
Got it. It's a complex layer, but seems intertwined with the general theme of freedom there. Now, for listeners who are intrigued by Uruguay, by Chihuahua, and want to learn more, perhaps even about opportunities there.
Yes, a great resource to check out is realestate-uruguay.com. They can offer deeper insights into the area and the welcoming nature of the country.
Perfect. So, bringing all this together, what's the final picture?
Right.
Uruguay and Chihuahua Beach specifically, it really seems like this unique nexus point.
I think so. You've got the solid foundation of Uruguay's progressive LGBTQ plus laws and culture.
Right, decades in the making.
And then you have Chihuahua Beach itself, building on that with a vibrant, internationally recognized naturist culture that really emphasizes personal freedom and acceptance.
It's not just one thing, it's the combination. Naturism, LGBTQ plus welcome, general diversity, stunning nature,
Yeah.
attracting this incredibly varied crowd.
Exactly. And having places like the Andarias Hotel right there reinforces its identity as a key hub for the gay community looking for that liberated experience.
The etiquette guidelines we discussed also show a mature community that values respect alongside nudity and openness.
And while the cruising element remains a bit inferred from related contexts, the possibility for more open social interaction seems to fit within that broader theme of uninhibited enjoyment and freedom that permeates the descriptions of Chihuahua.
So it really does sound like more than just a beach. It's a symbol, maybe. A place where diversity isn't just tolerated, it's actively celebrated, and where people can genuinely feel free to be themselves.
That seems to be the core takeaway. A place where individuality and nature come together in a pretty special way.
A compelling destination for sure. And remember, for a deeper exploration of opportunities in this welcoming nation, do check out realestate-uruguay.com.
Definitely worth a look.
Thank you for taking this deep dive with us into Uruguay's nude beaches. Naturism, Freedom, and Cruising at Chihuahua Podcast.